We are currently witnessing one of the biggest political backfires in American history. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election because everyone, it appears that we are witnessing one of the biggest political backfires in American history, and I know, it's only been a couple days since Trump was found guilty in New York, but despite that, based on most metrics, we can tell already that, yeah, this conviction of Trump is currently one of the biggest backfires we have ever seen. In fact, you could argue this might be the biggest blessing in disguise Trump could have possibly gotten. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, I do want to be clear that I am not saying for 100% certainty that Trump's going to win because of this, but as of now, based on the metrics we do in fact have after the conviction, this is not helping Democrats. In fact, you could argue it's actually benefiting Trump. So, let's get into it. The Trump campaign announced Monday it has raised $141 million in May alongside the Republican National Committee. Yeah, $141 million. And this money doesn't even include the fundraiser we're seeing in June, because it's obviously for the month of May. So if you were to include June 1st and June 2nd, more than likely, this would have been closer to $170 million. Yeah, and that's just the Trump campaign. And this isn't a rumor. This is confirmed by the campaign itself. A staggering total buoyed in part by secure donations after the former president was found guilty on 34 felony counts in New York. The campaign and RNC received more than 2 million donations for the month, and 25% of those who gave were first-time donors. That means over 500,000 people gave money to Trump or the RNC for the first time ever. Yeah. And they figured this out because these are people that have never given to any Republican before. Anything related to Win Red, nothing to Trump, nobody. Yet in the month of May, 500,000 people decided, you know what, I will donate to Trump or the RNC for the first time ever. On top of the $141 million haul for the campaign, other organizations supporting Trump brought in roughly $150 million, Trump officials said. So you combine the $140 million just for the campaign and over $150 million of other organizations. That's a total of $300 million. Just for some added context, Biden's campaign this entire cycle, including outside groups, it has raised in total $300 million. So in 1 month, the Trump campaign and other organizations that support him raised more or just as much as the Biden campaign has done this entire cycle. So much for this theory that Trump has no money, he can't fundraise, it's over. Because in 1 month, Trump was able to fundraise just as much as Biden has done this entire cycle. What does that tell you about how people think about the conviction? It's not just big donors, it's small donors, everyone. They are furious over this decision. If they weren't, Trump would not be seeing this much money being raised in 1 month. Especially since most of that came in like 2 or 3 days. President Trump raised $141 million this month because Americans remember the roaring economy, secure border, and peace through strength at home and abroad under Donald John Trump. And we will return to prosperity and success when he is reelected in November, the two added. More than 1/3 of Trump's fundraising total for May, $53 million, came via online donations in the 24 hours after the jury found him guilty on all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records during his 2016 campaign to conceal an alleged affair. Yeah, 1/3 of it came in 24 hours. That is incredible. So when you include June 1st and June 2nd, yeah, Trump probably raised $170, $180 million if you included those 2 days, which you can't because it's obviously for the month of June. The massive total is likely to close the cash gap between the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign, which is yet to report its May fundraising numbers. President Biden's campaign raised $51 million in April and had $192 million on hand. Trump's campaign outraised Biden in April, but it still was millions of dollars behind in terms of cash on hand. So Trump was already picking up steam on the fundraising front. But it's still, Biden had an advantage because he has $200 million on hand, or just under. But A, that was back in April. So we don't know what he actually has now. And B, Trump raised $300 million in 1 month, with a large chunk of it coming in 2 days. You don't see that type of fundraising. Funny enough, Trump in 24 hours received more money than Biden did in the entirety of April. He raised $53 million in 24 hours. Biden in the entirety of April raised $51 million. You know what that tells you? It tells you that Biden physically cannot raise any money unless Obama or Clinton are at the fundraiser. That's a fact. Because the only huge fundraiser Biden has really had this cycle was because of Obama and Clinton in New York City. If it wasn't for that, no one would have showed up. That's the reality that the Biden campaign still will not accept, that he cannot fundraise without Obama. He needs those two to fundraise with him because he can't keep up. This is insane that Trump is raising this much money despite every theory that actually his campaign is done, it's bankrupt, he can't fundraise any money, it's over for him. Now, the Biden campaign, we gotta see what they actually raised, but do you really think it's gonna be more than $140 million? Really? I highly doubt it. Trump campaign officials have downplayed the Biden campaign's cash advantage, asserting that the former president and his team will have the resources required to win in November. And that's true. Just put it simply, before Trump has been fundraising this much money, Biden outspent him like 20-1 so far. Despite that, in some states I should say, Biden is still losing, according to the polling. All right, before the conviction and even after, we'll look at the polling in a second, but before this conviction, Trump was still winning in most of the swing states by a couple points. Hell, the popular vote, which he lost by 4 points in 2020, he's still leading in that. That's despite Biden outspending Trump everywhere. So now that Trump actually has money in his campaign, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think, oh, now Biden is going to surge? According to the logic these people use, theoretically, we should see Trump surging if he's spending this money. Because at this point in time, the fundraising advantage Biden had is gone. So, how is this positive news for the Biden campaign? Biden campaign officials, meanwhile, have argued their operation has spent money on staff and resources in key battleground states likely to determine the outcome in November. And that's the cope they're using. Yeah, you've outspent him in every swing state by a lot of money. And that's what every Democrat is praising, that, oh, well, this is proof that Biden will win because he's outspent Trump. Yeah, he has. Yet he's still losing. So now, theoretically, Trump is going to be spending more money on states like Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania. So theoretically, wouldn't that mean, okay, now that Trump is spending money in these states, shouldn't he surge? Is that the logic these people are using? No, they're going to say it's different because Orange Man bad, or some crap like that. But it's a coping mechanism. These people cannot accept that, hey, we've outspent this guy by so much money, yet he's still beating us. The same thing happened in the primary. Now, I am not saying you should compare the primary to the general, because these are different elections, fine. But either way, the similarities between the DeSantis campaign and now the Biden campaign is uncanny. The DeSantis campaign for months was saying, the polling is all fake, we're going to win because we have a better ground game. We have people on the ground, we have staffers in Iowa, we outspent Trump by a lot of money, we're going to win. Guess what? He lost by 30 points. Barely beat Nikki Haley. That's a fact. The Biden campaign is doing the exact same thing. They're now saying, well, we have so many staffers in Wisconsin, Michigan, etc. And we've spent so much money. Yeah, you did spend a lot of money. You're still losing. And now Trump is starting to outraise you by a lot. Because this is double what he raised back in May, while your campaign, let's assume, raises even double what you raised back in April. Trump still outraised you by $40 million. So there's no positives here. But some people might be saying, well, the conviction is still going to hurt Trump in the polling, and that's going to be proof that he's going to lose. Well, a new poll was just released out of Morning Consult just an hour ago. Look at this. Before the conviction, Trump was leading by 2. After the conviction, I should say right after, he went down to losing by 1. But notice, his vote share stayed the exact same. Well, minutes ago, I think a half an hour ago, or an hour ago, whatever, Morning Consult released a brand new poll today, and they have Trump leading by a point. His vote share stayed the exact same. In other words, as of now, this is the first pollster to poll before the conviction, right after, and about 3 days after. Morning Consult, the first one to do it, shows no change. At best, it was statistical noise for Biden. Oh, he did 3 points better. Yeah, Trump did the exact same. All that happened was some undecideds, they looked at the news and said, oh my goodness, Trump was convicted of a felony? I might vote for Biden. But that's recency bias, and we're now seeing it. So the Biden campaign banked their entire electoral prospects on a conviction. And as of now, it's flopped. Not just fundraising, but now the polling. The Biden campaign is screwed. At this point in time, I don't see them winning. Could things change? Yes. But if this is their polling bump they're going to get, a 3-point swing for a day, and then the very next week, oh yeah, it's back to reality, and Trump is still winning, you're done. Especially if Trump could keep up this fundraising. He is breaking records left and right, whether it's fundraising, whether it's polling, because his polling has stayed, at least his vote share, the exact same. Well, Biden had a 1-day bounce, and it's back down. We do got to see what happens. Things could theoretically change. I understand that. It's June. But at this point in time, we've been saying this for months now, that, oh, it's only April, things could change. It's only May, things could change. Now we're in June. At this point in time, are things going to change for Biden? For his electoral prospects? Are they going to get much better? I don't think so. There's no signs of it improving. Even with a conviction, this should be the best polling bump Biden would have gotten with the conviction. It's right after the fact. Theoretically, if he was going to get a long-standing bump, he should have done 10 points better in the polling. Let's be real. Because that's a sign that a bunch of Trump voters decided to bail on him, and even Biden was able to win a couple of them. That would have been a sign that, yeah, Trump has a problem. But this is right after the conviction. This should be Trump's worst polling. And as of now, no realistic change. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.